I should, and much I should, you know what I'm saying? To my viewers, listeners, and supporters, baby. You know what I'm saying? Positive energy, activate conscious elevation, everyone. I'm back before y'all with another enlightening transmission for the purpose of elevation and being enlightened and well informed through Nuwabu Forever. Oh, this beautiful chant. You know, so healthy for the airwaves. I remember when I had seen some footage, right? When they was showing, you know, the land of Tamaray in Eatonton, Georgia, how that sound was emanating from one of the mirrors on the land. And I didn't physically go there, but I always was connected to it. As if I actually experienced being on the land. But for the sake of spiritual cultivation and spiritual elevation, you know, I was just attracted to that sound, you know, as the embodiment of soul energy. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a beautiful feeling to be in tune with that feeling. So, once again, though, y'all, you know, of course, you know, every day, you know, is a good day to be a part of something great. And in light of me, you know what I'm saying, being a good friend for the cause of righteous upliftment, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's just a good thing to be a part of something worthwhile while we live, you know what I'm saying? We in the land of the living. You know, though, you know, we want life to be beautiful. We want life to be pretty. And it can be that way, and it is that way, but yet, you know, as a result of, you know, unfortunately, some of us, you know, is in ugly situations. So the ugly situations that some of us find ourselves in, is it by design, or is it something that you caused, or is it something that certain external forces cause, and you cause? You know, in a certain regards, to where, if that is the case, what is your powers that you possess to change that reality? What you can do as a result of your thinking. Now, man, I remember the master teacher admonishing to us that thought power is the most potent power of the universe. actual fact philosophy or spiritual perspective about thought power, it's important that we learn how to guard our thinking ability with thought streams of purposeful intentions to generate light knowledge from our intellect. Light knowledge through knowledge, excuse me, that's in its proper sequence and order. And also I learned that in the teachings that can't nothing be done right unless the mind is right. So how do we get our minds right? Because a lot of us been caught up in what's called the cycle of wrongness. So we don't want to deceive ourselves or fool ourselves by thinking, oh, okay, I can just really do what I want to do minus adverse consequences through me participating in things that I think is good, but in all actuality, the things that you're doing, it leads to death and destruction. You know, creating negative effects on yourself and on others. In this life, ain't you supposed to get mature at certain stages of our development from youngsters, from being young? Of course, we wasn't gonna stay young forever. You know what I'm saying? But spiritually, maybe there is a reality that we will stay young forever with a certain consciousness attached to our etheric existence, right? That will be timeless in light of that energy force being indestructible, like the indestructible consciousness of the Most High that always have an aim and purpose to exist in creation or to exist in existence, being the all. I'm grateful for discovering through soul searching, connecting with the great mind and spirit of Panabab Yanun, the master teacher. I'm comfortable in our true roots as a people because it's refreshing to have a mindset developed through proper education and proper information. You know what I'm saying? That is truly designed intelligently enough to uplift us out of a negative condition into a positive condition that have really taken place. I'm no longer who I used to be, but yet that part of me, you know what I'm saying, is there. But when I was young, you know, I did certain things where I put them ways away. Now that, you know, I'm much more mature, I'm a man, you know what I'm saying, that stands for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice for all. You know. So who am I to make? Who am I to be a judge of the world? To where you know just an everyday people person, but I'm more than an everyday people person because I am a product of a divine reality. And we are products of a divine reality that make us stars. But there's a certain system in place that belittle the minds of the people to where they look at themselves small, to where they socially treat themselves small in the midst of plenty. A planet that's full of riches and free energy. Right? To where we benefit from this free energy, this renewable energy, being energy beings, non-ether energy beings, and other levels of ethers down to the one ether beings, being demonic entities, right? Having a awareness of these etheric, these ether levels, give us a better understanding of why certain realities or why certain forces is working in life the way that they are functioning. See, to think is a gift. It really is, right? So we are to use it properly and not underuse it. So, for instance, in this transmission, I'm going to go into some questions and answers designed by the master teacher, right? As always, that's what I do. I'm coming straight from the. I remember when it was a saying like when we was doing the knowledge in the Bible and Holy Quran, going to the eye of the scriptures, right, and see what certain things is saying for myself, or like what I'm doing with my communication style, right? For my viewers, listeners, and supporters, I'm going into the doctrine period. I look at the doctrine like in the school of Christism, right? You know how ones, certain, people, who do soul searching when they get into the Bible, it says study to show thyself approved, right? Like, for instance, the red letter writing in the Bible that is supposed to be the words of the real Yahshua, right? That's how I look at the words of the master teacher in the doctrine. Period. That's just my observation. Well, I refuse to be tricked or deceived, man, by the arch deceivers who come in a righteous name or image but are wolves in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. The saying the evil one be roaming to and fro in the earth seeking whom he may devour. Now these certain unclean spirits are the evil one that be in certain persons, right? Either do they make themselves a willing vessel for them, one, either spirits or walk-ins to get in them and cause them to commit certain acts that cause them to get in trouble. Or what these unclean spirits cause them to be less fortunate or experience when things just don't go their way. But yet, them negative forces feel good about themselves when they disrupt somebody else's life because they jealous of them or they envious of them to where they don't want to see them happy. I mean, it's just a constant war of good and evil going on in the society, in the world at large, period. And in light of that, like looking at myself, for instance, right? I remember I was talking to a psychiatrist one day, this lady. She was like, what do you want to do in life? I was like, you know what? I just want to be pure. She said, pure? I say, yeah, I just want to be pure. Now, I'm saying that to say this. When I told her that back then, to this very day, I still feel like that. Because I experienced a point in life where I feel like something's just trying to make me feel dirty. You know what I'm saying? And as a result of this certain dirt that's being put on me, you know, some of it is caused by me, and some of it wasn't caused by me. But yeah, I wanted to stop the dirt that I did cause and get my act together by paying attention to certain solutions of what can make me feel clean and purified, right? So I started soul searching even deeper to actually experience some kind of internal cleansing. And when I came in contact, you know, with our true spiritual science, right, knowledge, I was on my way. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, the doctrine, you know, as a product of the mind of the supreme master teacher amongst us, right? Ain't nobody, I'm like, wait a minute, this is it. Ain't nobody. I'm like, how in the heck the master teacher, man, is so articulate like this, and how do he know all this like this, right? And I'm like, man, hold on. this is beyond human. You know what I mean? Which caused me to think in terms like, wait a minute, we more than just human. We superhuman. But having the time to really sit down and delve into the information is the key. It's the key that helps with the transformation that a lot of us starseeds and chosen ones has been looking for. So for people to look at us like we different. We out here where we hold our own. And since we on our right channel, stations, and frequencies, tones and vibrations, good things attract to us. But yet at the same time, right, the evil one was like, I'm gonna make what's wrong look right and what's right look wrong. In this society, being a mind manipulator, right, the evil one, because it has been written for us to perceive that this diabolical entity is the prince of the air. So I'm communicating to y'all through the airwaves right now, right? And we hear this beautiful chant with this beautiful tone coming from my voice. Based on the tone that's coming from my voice, me being a Pisces, being a water sign, having an awareness of the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. I utilize the water element in a way that's a part of my nature as a non-ether being, knowing how to utilize the forces of nature. In addition to my intuition and psychic abilities, on a higher level, dealing with the planet, the universe, the galaxy, or what, like the master teacher pointed out to us, as far as just broadening our knowledge spectrum and understand that the universe is made of the universe, the dualverse, the triverse, the multiverse, and the omniverses. And all of these realities and planes of existence is a part of the all. That we are a product of, which shows how deeply we are connected to a divine love, where, you know, we are to like really get what it we are really to get what it means, right? What it means to be like getting to that level as a people where we show divine love toward one another. You know, through learning our lessons though, right? So in light of learning our lessons, you know what I'm saying, I want to get our attention on this these outstanding questions and answers that, from my observation, only the master teacher can bring. You know what I'm saying? I remember when like that saying the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was describing himself like the truth that he brought, they would shut their mouth. They would shut their mouths up at him. So is that what people do when they hear the truth that's proceeding from my mouth? You know what I'm saying? That's rooted in that's rooted in a divine. That's rooted in a divine perspective, to where I'm really trying to encourage, positive change, from my good mind. See, as we think, so we are. So, I mentioned once before, right, that our minds are like a computer. And our minds can be programmed with, how a computer is programmed with certain software. Our minds operate like a computer. So what we put in it is what we're going to get out of it. So we on a timeline of life on this planet, which is a school, one gigantic school for us to learn certain lessons where we can go to the next level spiritually. Through conditioning ourselves right now in this physical realm. Yeah, life is more than just fun and games. But ain't nothing wrong with fun. Having fun and, playing certain kind of games for leisure and things of this nature. But it's more to us than the root chakra civilization of the Matrix. I'm just saying, because there's many levels to living in this life. And for us who developing our minds to be spiritually mature, right? It's for the purpose of helping to appeal to the higher consciousness of humanity in general. Creating a culture in the planet that value divinity. Right? Now these particular questions and answers, right? We're gonna go some places right now, right? Dealing with traveling into deep thought, in addition to the realities of like prophecies and stuff like that we living in, and dealing with actual like political realities and social realities that's going on right now on the planet in this era of time that we living in. You know what I'm saying? And certain topics that will be dealing with what to expect in the future. Because there's a lot of things that's happening right now that we should just be in light of. Okay. Now, these particular questions and answers, right? A person asks a master teacher, right? These men and women asking these questions, sisters and brothers or people, men and women from all over the world, asking these particular questions through a certain form on the internet, the computer. Okay, now, what is the difference between densities and planes, right? Density is defined by matter traveling toward its own center. The planes are merely vibrational rates of energy moving in all directions. Densities are within the planes, right? Densities are within the planes. The planet is moving from the third density into the fourth density in these days. This is why there is so much turmoil. Now, speaking of turmoil, that's not a comfortable state to be in. So what do we do to get rid of the turmoil? You know, we turn to things that give us a sense of ease and pleasure, you know what I'm saying, and comfort. But how do we go about accomplishing the ease, the pleasure, and the comfort? In certain ways, the ease, the pain, and the comfort is disguised to where we do things to our bodies. We put things in our bodies that bring us comfort or pleasure, when in actuality it makes things worse. You know what I'm saying? That cause brothers to, unfortunately, hey, you know, go to their graves from drug overdoses, or, you know, get locked up for unthinkable crimes because their minds is gone, or just backwards in their personality to the point where they can't sustain a healthy family lifestyle, broken homes. You know, I mean, the term say no to drugs, but individuals saying yes to drugs, you know, causing to end up, you know what I'm saying, in difficult situations where they just in turmoil. But you gotta catch yourself out here. Men and women have to catch themselves out here from the negative habits disguised as comfort, pleasures, as a means of escapism. So since you want to escape from the turmoil, get a grip on yourself and say, you know what? I'm finna fight the real battle. The battle within. And make the necessary corrections I need to make to win in this battle, where I will be victorious, right? And set my spirit free from the evils of life. Yo. praise due to the most highest Neter Shil Neteru, right? Now, question. In the Science of Healing book, what is the tiny hair-like protrusions extending from the pineal gland called? It's called a pineal nerve. Now, this is learning about going within, about ourselves, about the functions of the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. Right. Now, the Science of Healing is going in depth about that question, right? This particular conversation is going to suffice without me going too much in depth with that aspect of the information that's relating to this question, right? The master teacher answer is called the pineal nerve. And then he had made reference to the Science of Creation scroll for us to get and do the knowledge on, right? And there was this other question. It was this other question, right? About somebody was talking about facts are facts, right? And the question resumed when they asked and answered, the master, okay, that's great. There was a sister who saw an orange being with 3 eyes. That's all she could remember. Do they exist, or is it a dream? So the answer was like, sleep paralysis can produce hallucinations from the hippocampus area of the brain. Who or what she saw may have altered its form for her. Now, in this area of the brain, that was said that, like, in a sleep state, when we go to sleep, our pineal gland become active, which it serves many functions. To where there's a part of our brain called the dream part of the brain, but to my knowledge, it's dealing with the pineal gland that has a lot of what was that? Dealing with a lot of capabilities, dealing with certain memory capabilities. You know what I'm saying? Where anything is possible. In that realm of dreams that can be controlled through how to like exercise a certain realization when you in that particular state, where you can control how you dream or connect with real divine visions and things of that particular nature, you know. But it's just, you know, for the sake of building right now, you know, we're talking about numerous things, you know what I'm saying, that are possible or that are actual. This goes on to read. What about people who get headaches from the back of the neck to the front, straight across their eyes? Answer by the master teacher, right? I told you all it's tuning. Tuning. Nibiru is tuning certain people on earth like a radio so that at the rapture they can speak directly into your head to inform you as to where to be at a given time. Now, Nibiru. What is Nibiru? Who is Nibiru? I mean, where is Nibiru? What you mean, Nibiru? Now, in light of this name Nibiru, this is a planet that crosses the skies, or is so big to the point where it can't come into Earth's atmosphere, to where it's so advanced. You know, people may think like the Crystal City related to it, or the mother plane is related to it, or the wheels or baby planes is connected to it, or dealing with the mother wheel or UFOs. But Nibiru is like a very advanced movable planet that's out there. You know what I'm saying? That has some kind of abilities to communicate with us, certain beings in the earth, right? On the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, like that saying, you know, when we hear our ears ringing, oh, that's the beings. They you know what I'm saying? They checking on their children, or they trying to get in tune, or some kind of station. You know what I'm saying? Connected with these higher beings or ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But that's, you know, that's that regarding Nibiru, though. Question. But won't we be with you? And then somebody was like, stop being emotional. And the master teacher was like, I am in the all, and you are in me. We will all be together, smiling, right? Those emotions are simply energy in motion. Facts are facts, right? Question, can you finish explaining the tuning that will be done? What is the purpose of the balls, or the two balls behind the ears? The master teacher answered, right? The two balls behind the ears are called magnetic globes. They act as antennas for high frequency signals. That's what we have, right? Now, what is this about ourselves where we didn't know what those magnetic, what's termed here, the magnetic globes, what the purpose that they serve? This is saying by the Supreme Grand Hierophant Patapabiano, Neta Aferdiatumri, right? They act as antennas for high frequency signals, going back to Nibiru, leading to the reality to where, like, wait a minute, these extraterrestrial beings know more about us than we know about ourselves. Well, they know that these particular magnetic globes that we have serve a purpose to where they say, like a radio, right? We can receive a certain tuning so it gets deep, right? The two balls behind the ears are called magnetic globes. They act as antennas for high frequency signals. Everyone has them. They have just been deactivated. They work with the barotheric gland. Am I clear? So it's a lot about us that we finding out about in this age of Aquarius, this age of knowing, and this information age. But the master teacher brought us out formation. So we're getting super conscious information of an out formation age. It's going to be a lot of things manifesting that is going to be blowing people's minds. So that's why raising our vibrations at this time in this age of Aquarius is important. But we will be able to comprehend certain extrasensory perceptions. You know what I'm saying? As far as it's constantly developing and growing. Now, you know, with the evolution of our species, right? Now, this question continues to ask: is he talking about the mastoid bones? Yes. About the two balls behind the ear. Can we control them? No, it's from above. How do they know how to tune in on us then? You know, like the saying goes, there's something about these higher beings. They know things about us that we don't know about ourselves. That's why this is a school. You know what I'm saying? For us to learn about who we really are as much as possible. For those who have that desire to know. Saying, because this knowledge is different. You know, it's touching on what's called right knowledge, correct information, sound right reason that lead to an overstanding beyond the understanding of certain information that made us be under them. Now this information is putting us in a different formation where it's putting us over them. Now, like the saying goes, you know, those who is first shall be last, and those who last shall be first. But we are the original alphas and omegas, though. You know what I'm saying? So, just continue to read, right? much I want to get off into. Okay, this goes on to read. I'm gonna just speed the reading up so I can try to get as much as I can in here for the next maybe half hour or so. Okay, now we overstand you. Do people with the barytheric gland get the two balls also? Yes, because the barytheric gland has been removed. By who? How? Why? And when can it be restored? How can it be restored? But we still have certain capabilities dealing with higher senses. We can have these higher senses work to a certain degree, but due to this situation, you know what I'm saying, they was working to its fullest degree, though. You know what I'm saying? This goes on to read, though. Yes, because the barytheric gland or barytheric gland have been removed. Telepathic communication are complicated. The Elohim or the Neteru or Anunnaki are tuning in. Okay, now the Nephilims. Okay, now, for instance, you being of them, this is the reason for the buzzing in the head, high-pitched sounds, sinus headaches, aches behind the neck, right side temple pains, unworn tearing in the right eye, loss of appetite, and nausea. There are many other symptoms. Once you had random access to the Anunnaki, right? However, with the removal of your barytheric gland, you lost your four higher senses. Now, with that said, we still have extrasensory perception abilities to a certain degree, but not in its entirety because of this reason right here. So utilizing sound right reasoning for my own reasoning and logic, this sound right, this makes sense. Now, dealing with telepathy, right? The ability to communicate messages from the mind without using verbal speech. Intuition, the ability to know what is about to happen before it happens. Psychometry, the ability to be able to tell something about a person by holding an object that belongs to that person. Clairvoyance, the ability to see clear, know what is going on in another place or another room without seeing the event or events with the two physical eyes, thus making it harder to telepathically communicate with you. Now, the master teacher, being the master teacher, right? Going more in depth with this by saying your frequency was altered in 1953 from C, 1953 AD, from C in the 4th octave to A in the 5th octave. What does that mean? Where you going with this? And this certain perspective of these frequencies. How did he know this? And in light of knowing this, it's actually real. This is mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? This is really, really mind blowing to be blessed to be in the light of this insight here. He go on to say though, your frequencies, your frequency. What is our frequency as Nubian people? Caucasians have a frequency. Let me see. Caucasians have a frequency. Asians have a frequency. And us Nubians or Negroids or the Nagaru, we have a frequency, right? A lot of us, our people don't know what particular frequency is ours because they're not mind qualified. They haven't been exposed to right knowledge. Now I'm trying to learn the best way I can, but the only way we're going to learn is to be inquisitive of our true spiritual sciences or our true roots. We got to connect with it and not be cut off from it, because that's what happened. We've been cut. Look, we've been cut off from our true roots. So this is reconnecting us with our true roots, right? Where we can grow and tap into our potential, our real potential. Not for people to feel threatened, but for people to feel safe, loved, secure in who we are as light beings. You know what I'm saying? Who is here to make the world a better place, right? Think highly of us. Quit thinking so little of us. We really are giants, mental giants and spiritual giants. You know what I'm saying? These are the positive images that is a reflection of who we are in the earth as healers. You know what I'm saying? Healers with good news, sharing glad tidings. Remember that in the Holy Quran when it's talking about glad tidings? You know what I'm saying? Having good things to say, having good things to talk about, but yet we at war. We not gullible, you know, or credulous, being readily acceptable of certain things that get put in our head, or certain things that people try to put in our head and be off and running with it without filtering it a certain way where we analyze it to whether it's useful information or it's discarded as garbage. You know what I'm saying? So, being in our right minds, you know what I'm saying? We have the jewels of life. You know what I'm saying? Like the 12 jewels of life. You know what I'm saying? Like the 5% that we talking about, which is love, truth. Hold on. Which is love, peace, love, and happiness, food, clothing, and shelter, freedom, justice, and equality, peace, love, and happiness. You know what I'm saying? The 12 jewels of life, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, we are our family. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, I remember I seen a final call recently. It was talking about, you know, brothers on the cover of it. It was talking about, us as a people. Settling our differences. Whatever school of thought we come from, the master teacher, once again, he put it out there to me best. Not to take nothing from nobody else, but we are our family. We're dealing with holism because we are part of the all, and the all is a part of us. You know what I'm saying? We trying to work this thing out for us to, be a government of the true creator and norms of great civilizations. It's a saying that righteousness builds a nation up and wickedness tears it down, right? So you had a book, The Fall of America, or yet in that proverb, in the book of Proverbs, when it was talking about righteousness build a nation up and wickedness tears it down, but yet the Son of Man came, right, to reveal the man of sin. Right. But for people to not really be thrown away, but for them to condemn sin in the flesh. So as far as sin or wrongdoing in general is to be condemned. That's a part of the correction process to make us better, perfected, and purified. Right? Now this goes on to read back to dealing with this frequency topic, right? Dealing with us, right? The master teacher said your frequency was altered in 1953, right? AD from C. In the 4th octave to A. In the 5th octave, evil beings altered sound and rhythm. That's when all the natural instruments were all removed and the imitation and artificial sounds replaced them. This made it easy for beings of different density levels, namely the 5th, to come in and take over your bodies. They walk in and get you depressed through the music and work off of your emotions. Everybody vibrates off of an individual key or note. Some people vibrate on C major, while others vibrate on a D minor, etc. So music or level of vibration or levels of vibrations, right, actually provides as an emotional outlet for the person involved. This is deep science. It is believed by Tibetan monks that the lower you go on the musical scale, you can find a note that you vibrate on and ride that note into the universe. So channeling that particular note that you can ride into the universe like that, that will be your frequency. So you have to find yours. And for a lot of us non-ether beings, automatically, right? We will be in tune, you know what I'm saying, to the point where we can, through knowledge itself, to be even more fine-tuned through this particular approach to connecting with riding, you know what I'm saying, a certain deeper felt frequency of yours, you know what I'm saying, where you'll be connected to the universe, being in the proper tune that you should be in. Let's go for men and women. Okay, let's see. The height, check this out though. The higher pitches are diabolical sounds. Sound is constant, meaning if you were to say, hey, although you only heard the sound, hey, for a second, this travels on and on. Thoughts are the same way. When you put a thought into the air, it travels through the universe and will manifest itself somewhere at some point in time. This is another reason why you have to be careful of what you think and say. Now, with that said, we have to be careful of what we think and say by having in mind this science of how sound works. Let's go over that again. When you put a thought into the air, it travels through the universe and will manifest itself somewhere at some point in time. Now wait a minute. Representing and speaking Nuwapu. The language of right knowledge as sapiens. Right? Hold on, y'all. This arm shot. No, it's beautiful, boy. For real, for real. Yo. Now, as far as my train of thought, right? What they said about we having to be, careful about what we think and say. This takes me to the topic of dealing with how hip hop been weaponized against the better judgment or aim and purpose in which it was really manifested from a divine angle, where hip hop was created out of a condition of a certain ingredients around it that wasn't necessarily good, but it was bad to the point where the only good that came out of the circumstance that birthed hip hop was that hip hop itself served as a healing force to escape the racism, the poverty, police brutality, broken homes, drug use, alcoholism, arguments, bad relationships, or conditions where conditions like that, it created a circumstance where brothers and sisters start loving one another through their art form and expression, to the point where it had a major impact on the whole planet, right? As a means of an art form that represent high infinite power to heal our people, though. To the point where certain negative forces interfere with the real aim and purpose of it for healing our people, cause a lot of rap music to end up being very negative and destructive and poisonous to the ears. Now mind you, going back to the science of sound, we got to be careful of what we think and say. So are we being careful of what we think and say in our lyrics and in the hip hop art form? Certain hip hop artists, yes, but they old school. You know what I'm saying? Which is certain individuals I listen to this day that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Despite them being from the hardcore streets, but they still had a brain, in which they know how to properly put certain things in its proper perspective and still remain true to the essence of what hip hop represents. You already know. One for the mention. You know what I'm saying? Just a few, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Like the God MC, Rakim. Like the God MC, KRS. Like the God MC, Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the hip hop heads that's around them that understand the true concepts of hip hop, Professor Griff. You know what I'm saying? Tupac. You know what I mean? Like revolutionary conscious hip hop heads, you know what I'm saying, that have vision. Like Right Knowledge have vision. You know what I'm saying? So once again though, Big Daddy Kane too. I don't wanna leave nobody out, you know what I'm saying? Just Ice. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go on and on and on. MC Light. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Queen Latifah came out with the ladies first. You know what I'm saying? The names is gonna go on. I'll be all day talking about that probably. But as far as taking back control of this reality about taming the tongue, so to speak, we got to be driven through a certain self-control where, we got to be careful how we utilize our speech. You know what I'm saying? To have agreeable impacts on our environment. Now this resume to say, right? This is another reason why you have to be careful of what you think and say. The planet Earth, which is tilted on a 23-degree axis, has sound also. Remember, the universe was created on harmonics. At the North Pole, there is a high-pitched sound. And at the South Pole, there is a low-pitched sound. As the planet rotates on its axis, it makes a woo sound. Did you know that? If you didn't, why didn't you know that? Or should I even care to know these realities about the planet? Yes, because we have a relationship with the planet and the rest of the universe. So getting this type of insight only broaden our awareness of tapping into adjustments of certain functionabilities. You know what I'm saying? So we want to function well. We want to be in our right minds. Period. Now, just continue to read, right? It takes 26,000 years for the Earth's axis to pass through each of the 12 constellations which are in the zodiacs, right? The signs of the zodiac. What humans don't know is that they don't really hearing. They don't really hear. Hearing is in reality feeling. You must be realigned so that you can hear the voice of the true ark of the covenant. What is the voice in Ark of the Covenant? Now this may sound crazy to some people, right? This may sound crazy to some people, right? But it's not crazy. It's just a certain perspective for you to look into that may have a deeper meaning. The Ark of the Covenant played a part of the large radio, as I explained in Book 4 of the Question and Answer series. The voice of the Ark was that of one of the Yahwehans or star beings. They sent an Etherian, which is pure energy, right? To live amongst them, meaning the children of Israel. Now, when you break the name Israel down, or you syllableize it, like, right? You see Is, Ra, and El. A triad of a mystical name linking back to Kemet. Now, it's an illustration of an Etherian, which is pure natural energy. So there are beings made up of pure natural energy that we will one day transform into. know this about ourselves. Now, to maintain that energy, okay, he was, like I say, to maintain that energy. Hold on. I ain't want to spend too much time on this because I wanted to go here. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, right? Hold on. Okay, a few more minutes. Okay. Now, I just spoke on, the Etherians is pure natural energy, right? And one day we will transform into these pure etheric energy beings. It's like it's beautiful, you know what I'm saying, to know who we are. Now, how much more time we got? Okay, we got a few more minutes. I don't want to keep y'all too much longer, but I just wanted to build with y'all for a minute, you know what I'm saying, for us to, do some traveling into deep thought about knowledgeable perspectives dealing with right now, the past, right now, and the future. Now, I wanted to go here, right, next, dealing with the reality of, like, what's going on around us, right, with these humanoid beings and robot toys and super soldiers and the military and all these other things that's taking place, and why Adolf Hitler and them was dealing with what they was dealing with, why certain things we overcame despite the certain elements of slavery and the hiding of information, from us having an understanding of Moorish history and a number of things. But this question right here is asked, right? Is it true that organic robot toys have a life force that is a motivating factor like that found in humans, right? Organic robot toys. Now, what's an organic robot toy? Like that found, like that, wait a minute, life force that is a motivating factor, like that found in humans. Answer. Okay, this is true, but they do not have a self-awareness. They only know what is programmed into them. The type of awareness they have is the same kind that a plant has, except when it is programmed to be self-aware instead of a complete soul development, they have spirit energies that are primitive or basic. This type of being can be perfected in time and are close in relation to the synthetics who outlive robotoids and only last several months before they burn out. The programming of behavior is that which has been implanted into the memory of the robot toy from the original being that came before it. They carry certain subconscious programming similar to that of a person who is in a kind of coma or zombie-like state. The being's basic function and basic response are carried out in the DNA cell memory, but the general programming of behavior and personality will only occur from the implanting of the memory of the previous person. Right? Question. You stated that these type extraterrestrials are superhuman. What will happen if extraterrestrials came to the planet and decided to harm humans? Answer. By the master teacher, right? You keep saying, what if they decide? You must realize that they are already here, living on the surface of the earth, inside the earth, and in the waters of the earth. And they have been living there for centuries, and some for thousands of years, controlling the planet. And yes, they can harm you as well as help you. Now, in light of that, I want to conclude there, right? Just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Regarding who really is in control of what's going on the planet. And certain beings amongst us look like they human, but they actually is certain beings amongst us that's doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? To the point where being in light of these certain realities, you know, just help us to be able to just kind of basically see what's going on. And this other, like, I'm gonna go and speak on this. And this other question was like, why are they allowed to attack? Right? They are allowed to attack you because when any extraterrestrial goes to another planet and their actions threaten the life or lives of that particular civilization, but it won't affect them, you have no other option. You cannot prevent them from carrying out their threats. They are allowed to attack you if they choose. The government doesn't want to inform you because it could cause people to panic and cause total chaos. Question: can extraterrestrials come here to take over our planet? Now, this takes me to the Star Wars defense program. You know what I'm saying? That our government have in case of certain realities such as this. You know what I'm saying? So these particular topics like this, you know what I'm saying, is informative to where we have certain governmental protections, you know, that is to work things out on our behalf, like to save people from particular occurrences that can possibly take place on this kind of level. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking outside the box about this. And can extraterrestrials come here to take over our planet? Right? extraterrestrials can come to your planet and take over. As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, right? They have taken over as we speak. However, there are intergalactic laws that exist and govern the galaxy where other beings won't allow this to happen. Where they won't allow this to happen completely. Whoever the president is the person or being that extraterrestrials consult, because he is the individual that you select to represent you. Whatever choices or deals your president makes with extraterrestrials, whether they are beneficial or not, your president is your decision maker, meaning that he is speaking on your behalf. Now, with that said, our leadership, you know what I'm saying, or heads of state, you know what I'm saying, in our government system, right? You know, may they choose wisely and making the proper decisions that really protects us, where things is done agreeably on our behalf. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a bigger picture, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on in our lives. And we just manning up, and, you know, and, you know, us as men, we manning up, and women, you know, women is womaning up, you know, to develop, you know, a mature perspective on how to properly run our life, instead of our life being ran by disagreeable influences that want us to cause loss to our own souls. You know what I'm saying? May we protect ourselves from the unclean things of the world, keep our thoughts structured around positivity, being enlightened or well informed about the bigger picture of things, and live normal, healthy, prosperous lives while we here bettering ourselves. So, yo, peace and love, everybody. And positive energy activate constant elevation.